I'm Wilmer Escobar. I'm here at the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security. I'm the IT and GIS specialist here. Um, my job here is basically to oversee the GIS development in the agencies that fall within the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security, which is the Belize Defense Force and the Belize Coast Guard. Did it change? It's not changing. Okay, there it is. Yes, why is GIS important to the defense enterprise? It is a critical component providing geospatial intelligence. Every piece of data gathered has a spatial attribute to it, and visualizing that data enables better decisions and placement of human resources. Here we can see what the cycle of the life of the Ministry of National Defense agencies. We have imagery resource positioning and the imagery intelligence, which makes up this cycle here I'm displaying. It's provides protection, and then the protection enables us to conduct operations, which will in turn give us intelligence, spatial intelligence, more specifically, and then that data goes to the mission command, which in turn analyzes data and then makes informed decisions based on the spatial data that we gather. Here we see the different areas. We have elevation data, topographic data, satellite imagery, and of course, intelligence layers that enable the analysis to be fruitful. Here we see the collaboration that is needed for this to function. We have the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security with its agencies, the Belize Defense Force, Coast Guard, and the Joint Intelligence and Operations Center. From other ministries, we have the collaboration with Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries, which is the Belize Police Department, and the Belize Crime Observatory, which has played a big role in helping us grow in terms of GIS knowledge. External agencies, we have the TBSL as an example. They provide much needed training for us and specialized training, given that we are a defense enterprise and we might not use GIS in the way that other agencies might use it. We created a working group to maximize the output that we have, that we can achieve, and that helps us in placing infrastructure and seeing that infrastructure expand so that we can better use and maximize the output of GIS within the ministry. Some of the applications that we use are ArcGIS Pro. We use that for remote sensing and imagery analysis. We use Survey 123 for data collection. We gather a lot of data and we have it stored in hard copies, and now we're transitioning into having that data digitally. We have ArcGIS online for administration purposes, which we see our publishers and give access to persons with decision-making portfolios. We use, of course, the ArcGIS dashboards to visualize the data that we get and to show the persons that make these decisions so that it can be a much well-informed decision. This one is an example of given the nature of the information we deal with, much of the actual applications are restricted. So this is just a sample of trainings that we've done, that this is the data we can display. More likely what we do. This is showing what like the precincts in Belize City and their jurisdiction. And yeah, this shows the joint operations that are conducted with the Belize Police Department. For example, since we use the police department works in conjunction with the Belize Defense Force in patrolling the streets of Belize City, for example, and we can see what is done here. The data is by precincts and how to mobilize the resources. Okay. Is it sharing?
Yes, I'm seeing your screen.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, here we see another example of as well of this data is a sample data gathered to give a more general view of information that we get and how we conduct analysis. Here is a proximity analysis to the border. It's a 1.5 kilometer analysis to the Guatemalan border. That's where most incursions are happening. And this is an example of what we do, the forms we create in Survey 123. This data is gathered and then sent to the quality analysts, the QA, which then in turn begin analysis processes to display data in dashboards. I will share as well in ArcGIS Pro the inclusion of third-party applications. This was conducted by the Belize Defense Force, flown by a drone flown by one of the Belize Defense Force analysts, Mr. Varela. He gathered this imagery and then patched it through ArcGIS, which is an open source software as well, and it gives us a more higher resolution imagery in areas that are considered areas of interest for the Belize Defense Force and subsequently for the Ministry of National Defense. Here we can see the level of resolution that was taken. This is along the border close to Benke. We are hoping for the drone to map to be included in this upcoming ELA, since this will take away the necessity of going through a third-party application and giving us a quicker way of importing this imagery to our layers. Here we're showing the importance of expanding the use of GIS in the defense enterprise, given that it is an ever-growing necessity. Basically, it is better. It creates better planning and execution of operations. It increases the precision targeting of illegal activities in hot areas based on the analysis that is done by the GIS teams in the agencies that fall under the ministry. Definitely the automation of processes for smooth data manipulation is key, because we want to establish a smoother data gathering and displaying that data as we get it in a more dynamic form. And we have the GIS hierarchy as well, which shows more likely how the data is gathered and where it ends for decision making. Here we have also our own application developed for the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security. It is basically a data gathering tool that we use to have so that we can have flexibility in terms of the ways of getting this data to the relevant agencies. This one is the Joint Intelligence Security System that is monitored by the Belize Defense Force and by the Belize Coast Guard. Also, we have the dashboard here, which displays, this is for the Belize Coast Guard, that how data is displayed here, showing the different the check-ins that the Belize Coast Guard does. Also, I wanted to share a tool that I use to quickly get, for example, for training purposes. This is the GeoJSON.io site, which enables us to get data in GeoJSON format, which is then converted. You can save it as a GeoJSON file, a CSV, a shape file, KML, and then place into your ArcGIS Pro for further analysis. So this enables us to create a lot of data, and then it's done pretty quickly, and then it's just populating the GeoJSON code here on the right. And I guess this brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope that next year I can still be here and looking forward to measuring the growth that we've had and the growth that we want to reach by the end of the other GIS day.